my fellow Wedding Florist friends, and welcome to the Wedding Florist Social Podcast. This is the podcast for wedding florists to learn all about acing their online presence. I'm your host, Vicky Laffey, and as a wedding florist of over 10 years now and a certified digital marketer, I want to help you get the right clients, get more followers, and never be stuck for content ideas again. Click the link in my description to get your free Wedding Florist Guide to Social Media Content Creation today. Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Wedding Florist Social. It's so lovely to have you back here. Today we are going to be talking about whether it's more important to have like a perfect looking Instagram grid or whether authenticity is important too. Before I get cracking with this though, if you listen on Apple or any other platform where you are able to review and comment on episodes, I would very much appreciate it. Not all platforms let you do it, but if you're listening on Apple, I believe it does. So you can leave me a review or comment. Your feedback and your reviews are all very important. So I would really love it if after this, you've listened to this episode, that you could pop over and do that. Much appreciated, guys. But let's get back to it. I am winging this again a little bit here. To be honest, I find the magic happens when I wing these things and don't have a script. But sometimes one needs a script. But today is not one of those days. So yeah, let's sort of really dig into this. I put a post about this on my Facebook group the other day, the Worldwide Wedding Florist community on Facebook. If you aren't a member already, it's completely free. Pop over and have a search for that. But I posted about this and I asked the crowd that follow me there, is it really important to have that cohesive look across your Instagram grid, that cohesive, curated, kind of polished look across your Instagram grid? The one I mean, where all of the pictures look the same, or they all have the same filters or aesthetic or branding, etc. Or maybe those checkered sort of patterns, where they do maybe a graphic on one and then a photo on the next, and then it ends up being a checkered pattern. Anything like that, or is it more important to be authentic and real with your followers? This got loads of comments over on my group, actually. For some very different opinions as well. Some people like to sort of shake it up. In fact, Caroline Marshall Foster from the Florist magazine, she's very well known in the industry. She commented saying, personally, Thatcher likes to shake it up, but so she keeps the fonts the same, but the color palettes change, and she gets bored of doing the same thing. And I don't think she is on her own in thinking that. I think a lot of people feel that way. They would get bored of just producing the same thing. So she's quite right there. But lots of people commented saying things along a similar line, that it would be bland and boring for their followers and potential clients. And, sometimes people... think it's a real turn off actually when they see these Instagram grids where it's all, like an inspirational quote on one and then a polished photograph on the next, and it's that checkered pattern sort of thing. And other people just post whatever they feel like posting. What because all of their clients are different, so they post different pictures, etc., etc. So there was a load of opinions stated on this. So to be honest, it's the fact that this people feel like they have to have this polished kind of looking curated grid. It has actually put people off posting in the past, which makes me really sad. I don't think that should be the case at all, and it's really sad that people feel like that. It's quite a shame. When they could have been posting some really, really good and valuable stuff, but they didn't think it was, quote unquote, good enough or whatever. It's actually stopped them from posting some of that really valuable stuff for their followers. There was a load of really great answers on that post that I made, but here's my take on it. Basically, there's a lot to this, but I think social media is constantly changing, and branding is really important. For example, I see the color orange and I think of Sainsbury's, if I'm allowed to say that. It's not the BBC, so I think I'm allowed to say that. That color instantly makes me think of that supermarket. But I think having a curated grid with beautiful pictures and stuff, it might look amazing. And I think it was important a while ago, but because social media is constantly changing and society is indeed changing, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, that, isn't it? Which came first? Is it the societal change or is it the social media? But I think now that has changed a little bit. That's taken a bit more of a back seat, and authenticity has overtaken that. And people in general need a little bit more than just pretty pictures. And just be real with your followers, guys. Basically, is what I'm saying. That said, I've experienced firsthand how a change in a style of pictures that you're posting can affect you. I was well known for, that sort of typical wedding-y whites and blushes kind of colour scheme, the pretty sort of thing. And whenever I posted pictures of more colourful items, for example, maybe, there's a particular colour scheme that I love, which is, the kind of the burgundies and the pinks and the clarets and blushes and things like, I love posting sort of stronger colours. I love making them. I love doing them. But whenever I posted pictures of those more colourful items, they absolutely tanked on socials. However, they may not have got as many likes and views and stuff, but they still attracted people who wanted that sort of thing. So it's a bit of a tricky one. I don't think there's sort of one answer really. I think branding, and I'm not just talking about your logo here, your branding is more than just graphics. It is super important. And I think as wedding florists, showing our clients what our work is like is vital. But we should only show posts that speak to and attract more of those ideal clients, really. I think, there's a lot of general advice out there for social media. There's a lot of experts in the field that are giving a variety of business owners advice, telling them that you should do this or that or the other. But my take on this is that what works for one industry won't work for another, hence me being here to show you what works for wedding florists specifically. Because it's all very well and good knowing from a technical point of view what the algorithm does or, whatever. But what works for one industry would not work the same for another, even within industry. So if you take within our wedding industry, you've got various types of suppliers or vendors, whatever you may call them. Let's take wedding photographers, for example. Their grids are... it's kind of, images are their thing. That's kind of what they do. That's what they're selling. So I think it's really important for them to sort of show, the quality of their work. They need to show their work is essentially. And it's not like when we show our work, we can take a beautiful, just a video. Maybe you've just finished making a bridal bouquet and you do a quick photo against a nice wall in your studio or something. So it's not like, the perfect polished professional image, but it's still beautiful flowers. Photographers can't do that. So they can't just sell an unedited image or, something like that. So it's not to say they can never be real with their clients, but, it's just a slightly different sort of take on it. You'll often see their grids looking perfect because, naturally imagery is their thing. That's kind of what they're there for. That's what their clients buy from them. But I think with us, so with florists, yes, our flowers do the talking. I'm not here to talk about photographers. I'm here to talk about florists and what helps you guys. I think it was important, even just a couple of years ago, to have this perfect polished grid. And I was one of those people. I loved having my perfect polished grid. And I think that's it's kind of a, how do I put it here? It was a portfolio. I think people used Instagram in a slightly different way, and they would look at your grid and it almost treated like a portfolio, like what is he or she or they capable of doing. And then they would get in contact with you. So I think they used it in a slightly different way. Now it's much more about connection and authenticity and being real with your clients. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say be real with your clients, I'm not saying that you should completely bare all and share every little aspect of your daily private life. That's not what I mean at all. There's different ways that you can be real with your clients and be authentic online. Even if you are sharing a professional, polished picture of your work, you could perhaps put something, word the caption authentically and just in a kind of a laid back, friendly, real way, rather than something complete that means nothing to anybody, like, oh, we just love these images by yada yada. Just be real and just say, maybe talk about how much effort went into making this particular wedding that you post in a picture of, for example. Or maybe that you had to rush home after setting up the wedding because your kid was ill, or I don't know, there's all sorts of things you could talk about. But examples of that are those examples I just gave rather are how you can be real with your clients. It doesn't mean that you should show like pictures of your kids online. Not everyone is comfortable with that. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Or it doesn't mean that you have to show pictures of your messy workshop floor all the time. And it doesn't mean that you need to do like proper posts all the time. It could be just stories, which disappear in 24 hours. That mixing it up is the way to go, I think. Sure, yeah, we all love professional, polished pictures of our, the weddings that we've done. But there's, that's not all that we offer. People buy from people. You'll have heard me and other, people online say that many, many times, I'm sure. But they need to connect with you and see what you and you're about and see the real you, essentially. So being authentic with them and not having this kind of pretend facade of you online is really the way to go. I totally get, by the way, that a lot of people don't like to show their face online, and you don't have to do that all the time. I assure you. Even if you're doing a live video or something like that, you don't need, your face does not need to appear on that. And I get that a lot of people aren't as comfortable on camera as I am, for example. By the way, I don't like how I look, but it doesn't stop me being comfortable on camera. It's very sort of different things for me, but other people feel differently. But yeah, I get that people don't like to appear online. But there are other ways you can be real with your clients. It doesn't mean that you have to show a picture of you without any makeup on or something like that, and then post it online and make yourself feel really awful. And that's not what it's about. Just be real. Maybe there's all sorts of things you can do. And if you are listening right now, I'm sure I've got a link to my free guide in the podcast description. It's a free guide where I give you examples of a lot of things that you can post whilst, before, during and after a wedding, which will really help you with that. And this is all just stuff that's taken on your phone. I'm always saying to people, everything is a content creation opportunity. You should always be capturing that content, even if you don't know how you're going to use it straight away, or even if you don't intend to use it straight away, always be capturing content. Oh, that's good, isn't it? I should do ABC. See, always be capturing content. I like that one. I'm gonna use that. I've just given myself another idea. But always be capturing that content, and be taking the photos and videos, and maybe close-ups of certain flowers, or flat lay photographs of heads of flowers that have fallen off or something, or videos of the bouquet you've just made, or a time-lapse video of while you're making a certain arrangement or display or whatever. If you haven't captured that content in the first place, then you can't use it. But be real with your clients, and use that real footage of you, and the behind the scenes footage. Maybe it's a picture of you of your van, and on an early morning of a setup where it's still dark, and you're showing people how early you are arriving at work, or all sorts of things you could post, really. So it doesn't necessarily mean you appearing online. It just means just being you, being real, showing them the real side of the business, rather than this polished, perfected, unreal look. I hope that's really helped you guys today. I think it's super important with social media always changing. It seems like, especially at the moment, every 2 minutes there's another update out, and you're constantly on this hamster wheel of trying to keep up with the latest thing, and it feels like you've just learned one thing, and then another thing crops up that you have to try and learn, and you think, well, what did I just spend the last 6 months doing the other thing for? We don't have control of that, sadly, but I think this is all the more reason why we need to be sort of real online as well. That's being real isn't an algorithm thing. It's a societal thing. It's what people are saying that they want, and it's what people are responding to. They're going to book someone who they connect with and identify with, more than someone who's just polished pictures they've seen online. That said, images are super important. That we work in a very visual medium. We do need to be showing pictures of our work all the time, and good quality pictures. But do they have to be like these polished professional shots? Not always. No. I would love to hear any feedback you've got on this episode. Any opinions? This sparked loads of conversation online when I posted about it on my group, and a few people have commented on the Instagram as account as well. But really, do get in touch. Drop me an email or DM me on Instagram or something if you have any further opinions on that, or maybe you've been affected in some way with that. I personally think, just to add a little bit to this, that the branding side of things is important. It could be that, if as an example of what branding would mean. So recently I updated my website, for example, because I found that I was more creatively sort of, I was given this creative buzz by lots of beautiful colours, but not overly colourful, but all these beautiful warm colours that are coming out now, these sort of toffee roses, for example, and peachy tones. And I've been really, really loving creating that, and I think that's going to kind of last a long time. This isn't just a flash in the pan thing, so I changed my branding because I felt like it was time for a change anyway. To be honest, I felt like the world had changed, society had changed, I'd changed, what I liked doing had changed, and what people were wanting from me had started to change as well. So I changed my branding, I changed my website, and tried to attract more of those people, which is the great thing about having an online presence. So I changed that. I'm being real online on Instagram with my clients to sort of reflect that. I'm posting as many lovely colours as I can within reason within my sort of brand. But that said, if I get asked to make a beautiful mix of whites and greens for a bridal bouquet, or a fireplace piece or whatever, I'm not going to not post that. I think it's all right to post that now and again, but it is important to sort of do things that fit in with your brand, but don't ever let that stop you from posting things that you like. I think that's where the magic happens, when you post things that you like and things that give you a bit of a buzz. And I did another post recently about I asked people about, well, I didn't ask, I told people that, if you're not enjoying the content that you put out there, then your clients aren't either. And I think that's the key. It's all very well doing scheduled posts and planned posts and what have you, but sometimes those can be a bit of just a box ticking exercise, and something that you kind of feel like you have to do to appease the algorithm or whatever. It's much better when you do things that you enjoy, and that often results from something that's spontaneous, or maybe it's just something that's happened that day and you have to post about it or write about it, and that sort of thing can't be planned in a way. So enjoy the content that you put out there and be real with your followers, guys. I think there's so much I could say about it, but I'd love to hear your opinions on this. So to answer the question, perfection or authenticity? Personally, I would do a mix. Just to sum that up nicely, I would do a mix. It's great to have the kind of nice, polished, perfect pictures that show off your work beautifully. But that's not everything. You have to be real. And even when you do post pictures like that, be authentic and real within your captions and what have you. One of my most popular posts was a reel that I did of florist life. Basically, I showed videos of it was quite a sort of funny one, really, and I showed videos of my leaves in the back of my car, leaves in my cups of tea, and the stacks of boxes that my flowers are delivered in, and all this sort of real life stuff. That wasn't polished or perfect, but it was one of the most popular reels I've ever done. Because people saw behind the scenes. It was authentic, but it was also funny. So yeah, I could go on. But perfection or authenticity, do a mix, guys. Thanks for listening. Well, thanks so much for listening all the way to the end of Wedding Florist Social. Remember to hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. And if you want access to some free community and support, then head across to Facebook and look me up on the Worldwide Wedding Florist Community Group. I look forward to seeing you there.